especially if you have a family to account for, it's really difficult to be super stringent. You have to be flexible. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I love creating reset and routine videos, and those are great for inspiration, but I realized that it doesn't tell you exactly how to make your perfect morning routine. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly the 8 steps that you need in order to create your perfect morning routine. If you like this type of content, don't forget to share this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel. And let me know if you want to see other types of content like this one on my channel. All right, now let's jump into the video. So my first tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to have something to wake up for. This means that you'd actually be planning your day either the day before or days in advance, especially if you're time blocking, so that you can know what you have coming up for the day. It makes it so much harder for you to sleep in when you know that you have things that you have to get done. And while you're planning out that day, and if you're time blocking your day, then you want to make sure that you're doing that hardest thing first. So for me, that is getting in my workouts. I know that that is something that I am trying to prioritize, and if I'm trying to do it later on in the day, it's just not gonna get done for me. Or it's gonna be really hard for me to get it done. So why not make my life easier and just knock it out first then? What is it that you're trying to get done? Are you trying to study for a course? Are you trying to do something for your business and it's really hard for you to get it done later on in the day? Then why not make it the first thing that you do early in the morning? I'm sure that it would help you to be more productive in what you're trying to accomplish and in your goals if you accomplish this thing first thing. So my next tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to wake up at the same time all the time. This is sometimes easier said than done on the weekends when you want to stay up late or you might be out more than you would during the week. But it actually helps your body and your circadian rhythms for you to wake up at the same time, or at least close to the same time every morning. We may be tempted to sleep in when it comes to the weekends, and you may just want to get in that extra hour of sleep, but studies show that it doesn't actually help you to get in that extra hour of sleep when you haven't gotten as much sleep earlier in the week. It actually isn't making up for anything. If anything, it's actually making it harder for you to wake up because you aren't consistently getting in the right amount of sleep for your body. If you're looking to train yourself to wake up at a consistent time, then it really helps to go to bed around the same time every night, just so that you are fostering that routine for yourself. So my next tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is habit stacking. I learned this from reading Atomic Habits a couple years ago, and it was absolutely the best thing that I could have learned as a takeaway from that book. Habit stacking is basically where you're pairing a habit that you already do with a habit that you're trying to add. That means if you're already making a cup of coffee or making a cup of tea in the morning, then maybe placing your supplements right next to it so that once you're making your cup of tea, while you're waiting for it, you are taking your supplements. That is pairing a habit that you already do, the act of making your tea or your coffee, with something that you're trying to do. Take your supplements more consistently. Think about habits that you are trying to create. Pair them with a habit that you already do so that it makes it easier for you to create a morning routine for yourself. So my next step to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to stay hydrated. I know it's not necessarily the most common thing to think about when it comes to a routine, but drinking enough water needs to be in your routine. Consistently drinking water and feeling hydrated is really important for your proper brain health, proper functioning, and as you're doing all of these activities and trying to create a routine for yourself, it just helps along the way. When you're sleeping, you are not getting a chance to drink any water. So over that amount of time, your body is actually becoming dehydrated. If you're drinking something as soon as you wake up, it's actually helping to rehydrate your body from that dehydration that happened overnight. And if you can make things easier for yourself by setting yourself up for success, why not do something that you really don't even have to think about, like drinking water? If you're trying to add drinking more water into your routine consistently, then you may want to have a cup or a glass, something that's close by you at all times so that you can drink more water. I have my cup that I pretty much keep with me at all times. This is a Starbucks cup. I think it was like $24, $25 because this is a bigger version of the cup because I think it holds over 30 ounces. Absolutely love this cup. It makes it so much easier for me to drink water, and actually something that people don't think about is that it's easier for us to drink more water if we're drinking it from a straw than it is from a cup where we have to tilt our head back. So my next tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to move your body. I mentioned earlier that I work out earlier in the morning so that I can get in my workout and move around and get my blood flowing and everything like that. But I also think it's important for you to move your body throughout the day. I typically sit at a desk all day. Even though I'm only working from home, I rarely get up from my desk and take breaks. That is something that I am trying to get better at. But in order for me to do that, I love that in my Apple Watch, it reminds me every hour or so if I have not gotten up. The earlier you can move your body, the better. But really the point is just to move throughout the day. At least 30 minutes of vigorous activity to get your heart rate up is good for the body. But even if you're not doing vigorous activity, even going for a walk, especially now that it's starting to get warmer and we did not have the coldest winter that we could possibly have in the US, it should be easier for you to walk outside and enjoy the sunshine. So my next tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to eat breakfast. A lot of the parents that I know who have younger kids, as they're creating their lunches and breakfast for their kids, aren't actually eating themselves. Instead, they're so worried about creating what they need to for the kid, which is so important, but they're neglecting themselves. And if you are trying to figure out how you can eat breakfast more consistently, then having breakfast when your kids are having breakfast is a great way to do that. Also, if you're trying to figure out how to have a smoothie or something like that that your kids may not want, then it's best for you to prep your smoothie the night before and then just stick it in the freezer or stick it in the fridge, and it will just be ready for you the next day. The nutritional properties of that smoothie don't start to break down until about 48 hours later, so you still are getting in all those nutrients as if you had just made the smoothie, but you don't have to have the time to make the smoothie because you already have it. Eating breakfast is such an important meal for the day. Not only are you nourishing your body from any workouts, anything that you may have done in the morning before you actually had the breakfast, but you're also providing yourself with sustenance and energy to help you throughout the day. If you aren't a person who thinks that breakfast is really important and the time doesn't necessarily matter, but as long as you're getting in that breakfast is really, really important, and I'm sure your body will definitely thank you. So my next tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to monitor what you consume. More so thinking about mentally versus anything physically. When it comes to having a morning routine and the first thing that you're doing is scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, or you are turning on the news, you're allowing whatever that media is to then come into your mind. And you never know what it may be. Sometimes it's negative things, sometimes it may be something about a celebrity, and you might just be scrolling and wasting time. And next thing you know, it's like 30 minutes later and you have not done anything on your to-do list. That is not the best thing for you to do. Really taking the time to look at your to-do list and see what you have for the day can really help you to decide what you have time for. And if you have any blocks of time where you are free and you just want to scroll for a little bit, then go ahead and do it. But to allow it to be the first thing that you consume can really set a negative tone for you, where you're not focused on the things that you have to do for your life. So my 8th tip to help you to create your perfect morning routine is to be flexible. Experiment with what works for you. Try different things with your order. Figure out if you need to have breakfast at different times of day, especially if you have a family to account for. It's really difficult to be super stringent. You have to be flexible. You don't want one thing to be out of order and it ruin your whole day. Instead, just take things as they go and have them to be more of a flexible routine where you can still get these tasks done, but maybe not necessarily in that specific order. Also, try to figure out if you need to switch things up, if you need to take some things out. Definitely experiment. I actually change up my routine with every season. Just because I may not be feeling the same way about things, I may be trying new products, and it may just not be working out well for me. As long as I'm experimenting and I'm doing the things that I need to do, taking care of my tasks, then it really doesn't matter as long as you get it done. Showing yourself that forgiveness and giving yourself the flexibility to kind of take things as they come can really help you mentally to not feel so overwhelmed as you're creating this routine. If you're looking for inspiration for resets and routines, then you definitely want to check out this playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.